Good afternoon, everybody. This is Steve K here with you all once again. And this time I'm going to be doing a video on Google Plus this time, in which this is going to be a movie review. As you see the way it is entitled, I figure I'd do one of these videos on here because considering that I am like a movie person and stuff, and I saw one of my friends do a review of this movie, so I figure I give my review of it and stuff. I know there's like a bunch of other friends that I have that pretty much do this stuff. I don't have anybody with me. I'm doing this by myself. And the movie is none other than Grease, 1970s movie with John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John, many others too that are in it. We'll get to in a sec. So basically, the story is about John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John as the title characters, Danny Zuko and Sandy Olsen, I think her last name is. And they are like characters that fall in love with each other in the beginning of the movie on this beach, and she's telling Danny that she's gonna be moving somewhere and they'll never see each other again. So as he's giving her a kiss, and she's telling him not to spoil it, but he said, "I'm not spoiling it, I'm just making it better." So she's saying, "Is this the end?" And he says, "Of course not. It's only the beginning." Then that cues the song "Grease" by Frankie Valli. Then the rest of the cast introduced. Then we get to the next scene, which is at the school that they're at. Like I don't know exactly like what they're like, what it is. I think it's high school or whatever it is. And John Travolta, had done Saturday Night Fever is one. I think this was not too long after he did Saturday Night Fever, and I think he was also doing. I don't know if he was still on the show Welcome Back, Kotter. I think he may have. Been done with that, but I'm really not too sure myself. So anyway, as we see the three characters that are introduced, they are the T-Birds. Their names are Sunny, Duty, yeah, and Putsy. Like you putz or something like that. Yeah, which is pretty funny, because that's the name of them. Then we are introduced to Kaniki, played by the late Jeff Conway, excuse me. And as they're discussing like what they did all summer and all that, and here comes Sandy as well with a friend named Frenchie. I think she was played by a lady named Dee Dee Khan or something like that. Then here come the rest of the ladies, and they are this group of girls that they are the Pink Ladies, they call themselves, and the guys call themselves the T-Birds as well. So the three girls are Jan, Marty, and Rizzo. Or Betty Rizzo. Well, Betty is like her name. So now we also have the teacher, well, not the teacher, excuse me, the principal that is in it, who was played by the late Eve Arden, and many other people there too. Now they have like deleted scenes as well from the movie, which I have on Blu-ray. I also have the movie on VHS. Don't think I do on DVD though. I just decided to get on Blu-ray because it was the Rockin' Rydell edition, as they call it. They go to Rydell High School, named after the legendary singer Bobby Rydell. So anyway, a lot of songs that are basically played in the movie. It is a musical. It's also comedy as well. No drama or anything, and no action either. It's basically comedy and musical. And then we hear the second song, which John Travolta does, and that is like Summer Days or Summer Nights, excuse me. Another good song they sing together. And John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John are eventually in the movie. I should just call them by their character name. Sandy and Danny are later, excuse me, reunited in the movie, but he's surprised to see her, but his pals are just looking at him like, because he's trying to be a cool person, or so he's like, "Oh, that's cool, baby." like Danny? Like, that's my name, baby, don't wear it out. What happened to the Danny Zuko I met at the beach? Oh, I don't know, baby. Maybe there's two of us. Try the Yellow Pages or something. I don't know. That's a funny scene in the movie, and she's sad that he did that to her, but he was doing that to like be cool for his friends and all that. So now, as Sandy is hanging out with the Pink Ladies, they have like this little thing, and then another song is played by Rizzo that she sings, and it's called "Look, I'm Sandra D" because of the way she is, and Rizzo's like, "This goody two shoes makes me want to boff." Yeah. As she comes out from the bathrooms, they try to pierce her ears, and she's like, "You making fun of me, Riz?" And she says, "Some people are so touchy." Now, as Sandy goes outside, we're introduced to we hear the next song. Not introduced, I'm sorry. We hear the next one that is Hopelessly Devoted to You. And I think I want to say that Olivia Newton-John won an award for that song, like a Grammy Award or something. I really don't know. But if I could get, like, the stuff up, like, real quick from the movie, like, just to get out of the way so I can, like, find out, like, the information and stuff. I don't want to, like, get like say like the wrong stuff or anything like that. I want to like get the right information. It's from 1978. As I know, it was like a 70s movie. Now of course the film was nominated for Best Motion Picture or for a musical or comedy. I have no idea what the winner was for that in 1978. I could look. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The winner of that was Heaven Can Wait. It also was John Travolta was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy. The winner of that award was Warren Beatty as Joe Pendleton in Heaven Can Wait. Olivia Newton-John was nominated for Best Actress for a Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. The winner of that award was actually, it says two of them on here, 78. It says Ellen Bernstein and Maggie Smith for Same Time Next Year in California Suite. Okay. Grease was also nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Original Song. And that was for Grease, of course, and the winner of that was Last Dance by Donna Summer from Thank God It's Friday. Hopelessly, You're the One I Want as well, and Hopelessly Devoted for You were also nominated for Best Song. And the winner of that dimension was Last Dance, Thank God It's Friday. But it did win a Golden Screen Award, a People's Choice Award for Stockard Channing, won the People's Choice Award for Favorite Motion Picture Supporting Actress. Olivia Newton-John won the People's Choice Award for Favorite Motion Picture Actress. Grease also won the People's Choice Award for Favorite Musical Motion Picture and Favorite Overall Motion Picture, and also was nominated for the Satellite Award for Best Classic DVD. And You're the One That I Want won the TV Land Award for Movie Dance Sequence you reenacted in your living room. So there you go. Now, of course, back to the movie, we have like the rest of the stuff now. As Kenickie and Rizzo are together themselves, they are hit by a car that is played by some gang member and his girlfriend. So their car is busted up, so they take it to the shop to be fixed. And that's when we hear the next song, Grease Lightning. One of my favorite songs to hear from the movie. I mean, I love this song when I was a kid. I loved the part like when they go like that, go Grease Lightning, you're burning up the quarter mile. And then like that, I mean, I got all into it. I mean, I have to admit it because I love the song. I own the soundtrack on CD and vinyl as well. If I had it on cassette, it'd be pretty cool. But I think I did have it on cassette once. So now after that, we go to the next scene where Sandy and Danny are reunited again, this time at this place, like a little diner or whatever, like an ice cream place, whatever they call it in the movie. I forgot the name of it. Thought I looked it up before. So he is telling her that he's sorry for what he did to her, but he's telling him that she likes somebody else, a guy named, can't remember his name, but his name is Tom in the movie, played by Lorenzo Lamas, who was also from a couple other shows and was on The Bold and Beautiful as well, a few others. Yep. So he starts to impress Sandy by becoming a jock, by playing sports like basketball, which he tries to do, then wrestling, and then baseball. But he starts to do pretty well at track. But he falls over on this little thing, this thing that like a hurdle or something. So Sandy sees him and goes over to him, and they wind up going out on a date to the place where they were before. But all the other people are there, his friends and the T-Bird and the Pink Lady, So that's another funny scene. I mean, there's a lot of funny scenes from that one, and Rizzo throws a milkshake into Kanicki's face, and um, the lady that plays the waitress, and I don't, if I can see her name in here, well, that's not the one. Her name is Vi, played by Joan Blondell. Unfortunately passed away in 1979, not too far after that movie. Excuse me. So so after that, we go to the next scene, and now we have this teen angel appearing, and he is played by Frankie Avalon, singing the song Beauty School Dropout. One of my friends always likes to say it and goes, "Go back to high school." Yeah. Pretty funny thing that they do like that. Yeah. Okay, just making sure everything's right on here. Okay. So now the next thing that's coming up is the high school dance, in which this band is appearing on there, and they call themselves Johnny Casino and the Gamblers. However, we know them as Sha Na Na, Bowser's group, the guy John Bowser Bauman and his group, and they do songs like one called Rock and Roll Is Here to Stay, Those Magic Changes, Hound Dog. One of the best songs they do, Hand Jive, and Tears on My Pillow, I think, whatever it was called. Yeah. But Hand Jive is the best one they do, and then you see the dance scene, of course, that Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta do, and then Cha-Cha, who is taken from Danny, played by Annette Charles, another rest in peace, passed in 2011. Yeah. She had retired, I think, from acting. Yeah. So anyway, now Sandy and Danny are now at a little drive-in theater and stuff, and Sandy's a little bit upset because of the fact that Cha-Cha and Danny went together, but he just says, "We did not go together, we just went together." But he winds up giving Sandy his ring, which she accepts, but then it just gets a little out of hand, and she leaves him, and that's when we hear the next song, Sandy, titled by John Travolta. Good song as well, good song. Now the next one is coming up, and that is the big race at Thunder Road between their car that they have and the Scorpions, as they call them. The Scorpion leader, I have no idea what his name is, but he's like the leader of the group, and they're like challenging him to a race. Yeah, here it is. Dennis C. Stewart as the guy, and he unfortunately passed in 1994 at a very young age of 46. So now we get to the race, and we also hear the song by, what's her name, Rizzo, which is The Worst Things I'll Do, or something like that, if I could, yes. And that's now it. Now we head to the next one, as, of course, the big race between them, the T-Birds, and the Scorpions. So originally, well, they had like a funny scene in it, and the guys like to, Kanicki was supposed to be driving. It's like, "So you guys think you got a winner there, huh?" "That's right. Yeah, what takes more than a coat of paint to make it a Thunder Road? You guys aren't thinking about changing your minds, are you?" "No way. Good, as we're racing for pinks." "Pinks? Pinks, you punk. Pink slips ownership papers." Yeah. I usually like to memorize a lot of the lines from the movie because, it's that good of a movie. So, as Kanicki is like getting ready to get into his car, Putsy winds up hitting him with the car door. So, Danny instead will have to drive for him. And as Sandy is appearing, as she wants to talk to Danny, the race is about to start. And that's when the whole thing begins with the big race, and he winds up winning the race, Danny does, and celebrating with his friends. But as Sandy is like getting ready, wants to like talk with him, then we hear the next song, which is "Look at Me, I'm Sandra D," but is another version of it again, just like a reprise, but just different. And now the kids, or everybody else, is like free of school now as they graduate or whatever, or school's out, so they have a little carnival. And Before that happened, I forgot to mention Sandy decided to go with Frenchie to get some help eventually. So now we are at the fair, and they've come upon Danny, who now has a Jack only like lettered in track or something like that, wherever he did, like to impress Sandy. But here comes Sandy in black leather with a black leather jacket and black leather pants. And very impressed as John Travolta is, or shocked, I should say, and is like, Sandy? And she says, tell me about it, stud. And that goes into the song, You're the One That I Want. Probably one of the best songs in the movie that is played, but even though I love Grease Lightning the most, and yeah, it's probably everybody's favorite song that's played in the movie, You're the One That I Want. So that's when everybody is together and all around the carnival they go. Then the next song is We Go Together. Another great song is played in the movie, and everyone else is like with their like together, like Danny and Sandy, Rizzo and Kaneki, Marty and Sonny. Marty is like played by Dinah Shore, who was in the TV show Soap, I believe. As long as I can, yeah, there, Dinah Manoff. I think I said the name wrong. Oops. Yeah, Dinah Manoff. Anyway, so yeah, so and what's his name, Putsy and Jan together as well, and there you go. And now the film ends with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John just driving off in the car that they made together, and that's the end of the movie. Yeah, and Grease is played once again. Yeah, I mean, but it's a really good movie. You know, it has lots of great music in it from great people in, John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, and Jeff Conaway was really funny in it. He was also in a few other shows, I think Taxi and something else, I think. Well, basically Taxi and Babylon 5, that says on Wikipedia. And the rest of the cast, not to leave out, Sid Caesar, who played Coach Calhoun, as the guy who tried to help Danny, like playing all these sports and stuff, and he winds up being the guy at the pie face when they're throwing pies in. The lady's like, it's for a wonderful cause, the teacher's retirement fund. Give him a pie and the pus. So the guys don't wind up like hitting him, but this geek that they call him by the name of Eugene, played by Eddie Deason, who was a Maryland native as well, I should say. So he winds up getting him with the pie, yeah. But Rizzo also tells Kaneki that she's not pregnant because she was telling him early in the film that she could be pregnant and it may not be his child, maybe. But we wound up finding out that she was not pregnant. And rest in peace as well as Sid Caesar, who passed in 2014. As I mentioned, Eddie Deason as Waldo, and not Waldo, that's another thing he did, Eugene, I'm sorry, but close enough. Susan Buckner as Patty Wilcox, as one of my friends, BGMTV Canada, Ben Mason, said that he's friends with on Facebook. Ellen Travolta, name sound familiar? Well, it should, because it's John Travolta's sister. She plays a waitress in the movie. Yep. Of course, I mentioned the rest. Ed Burns as Vince Fontaine, the guy at the dance who does all this stuff, and yeah, funny role he did. And of course, Sha Na Na as Johnny Casino and the Gamblers. And there's supposed to be, and it says here, Fanny Flagg as Nurse Wilkins. Well, I really did not know that. I mean, oh, now I remember. Yeah, when I saw that lady in the white that came in, yeah, in the beginning of the movie, yeah, that was her. Of course, she was on Match Game, as you know. Now, also to mention a few other things, and I know I'm going a little bit on about this movie, but hopefully you all are enjoying this. Now, originally, we have here singer Olivia Newton-John's cast, at John Travolta's urging, had done little acting before this film. She appeared in the 1970 film Tomorrow, T-O-O. It's a science fiction musical that predated her initial chart success with 1971's If Not For You. Cast with Newton-John and 3 male leads, an attempt by Don Kirshner to create another Monkees. The film was never released commercially. This led Newton-John to demand a screen test for Grease to avoid another career setback. Screen test was done with the drive-in movie scene. And not only that, Henry Winkler was once considered for a lead role in the film. Now, if you want my honest opinion, I don't think it would have been all that good with Henry Winkler as the title character, because it says on here he was playing Fonzie on Happy Days, and he was originally chosen to play Danny, but having twice already played similarly leather-clad 1950s hoods in his 74's The Lords of Flatbush, another movie he did, as well as Happy Days, turned down a role for fear of being typecast. I think that means like kind of like the same thing, like what he did in Lords of Flatbush and Happy Days. Probably a good reason. So actor John Travolta, who had recently completed Saturday Night Fever, cast the role of Danny. Adult film star Harry Reams was originally signed to play Coach Calhoun. I have no idea who he is. I'm sure some of you may have heard of him. Don't really know him that much. However, executives at Paramount nixed the idea due to Reams' previous work in adult films, and producers cast Sid Caesar instead. Caesar was one of several veterans of 50s television: Eve Arden, Frankie Avalon, Joan Blondell, Ed Burns, Alice Ghostley, Dodie Goodman, to be cast in supporting roles. Okay, and as the rest as well, Randall Kleiser directed John Travolta, who requested him for Grease, and Kelly Ward in The Boy in the Plastic Bubble 2 years prior to Grease. Additionally, he had previously worked as an extra alongside Frankie Avalon 1960's Fireball 500. And not only that, I read something else that, what is her name? Somebody that was going to be cast or whatever to do Sandy, and I think that it was supposed to be, I may be wrong on this, but I think it was supposed to be Marie Osmond or somebody like that. It was supposed to be. It was somebody who was supposed to be the cast of Sandy. I just can't picture it now. I don't know, man. It may have been her because she was at least 20 in 1979. If I could read it on here, and I don't see anything on here. So maybe it was not, but somebody wanted to be like cast of Sandy, but wound up turning down the role because of the fact that she didn't like the fact that Sandy had to turn bad in the end. Well, not bad, just be a leather person to get the boy, pretty much. I think that's kind of a weird excuse, in my opinion, but still, with the cast that they had it as before, with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, it definitely was the right one, a right combination, Yeah, and they made it. It was a very good movie. It was a big success. And now, just to mention, they did do a sequel, which was Grease 2. Unfortunately, in my opinion, I think this movie was a bust. I mean, I know some people would disagree and stuff, because not only that, Maxwell Caulfield plays Michael Carrington, or Cool Rider, an English exchange student and Sandy's cousin, as it says in this movie. John Travolta does not come back to the movie, and it says here as well, before Grease 2 came out, I was being hailed as the next Richard Gere or John Travolta. However, when Grease 2 flopped, nobody would touch me. Felt like a bucket of cold water had been thrown in my face. It took me 10 years to get over Grease 2. And Michelle Pfeiffer as Stephanie Zanone, the leader of the Pink Ladies. Michelle Pfeiffer pretty much is known for a couple other movies like Batman Returns, a few others, and the T-Birds as well, just all these people. But Christopher McDonald, who is one of them, who's also in the movie Happy Gilmore, Shooter McGavin, and the Pink Ladies as well. And there's just a few people that return from the original Grease. Didi Khan as Frenchie, Eddie Deason as Eugene, Eve Arden as the principal as their final film appearance before retiring from a 5-decade career, Sid Caesar as Coach Calhoun, Dodie Goodman as Blanche, the lady, rest in peace as well, Dennis Stewart as Leo, the guy from the Scorpions in the first one, and Dick Patterson as Mr. Spears, who appears in the first film as Mr. Rudy, or whatever it is, Rudie, and Connie Stevens, who plays Miss Yvette Mason, just somebody that is a supporting cast member, and that's really it. But in my opinion, like I said, Grease 2, in my opinion, was not really one of the best. I gotta be honest, I mean, it was just really not one of my favorites. It really was not. I just prefer Grease a whole lot more because it's good, it's funny, the music is great, story is great as well. No, it's not really like a long movie or anything, probably like an hour and 20 minutes, I guess, maybe. It's not like 2 hours or anything. It's not very long. But like I said, again, there is like one on Blu-ray, which has like deleted scenes and stuff, and they call it the Rock and Rydell edition. A few others. But again, don't own it on DVD. So yeah, and that's probably going to have to wrap it up for this review of Grease. So I certainly hope you all enjoyed this. So give a like if you want, and comment like with your thoughts about it, anything like that. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. It's a cloudy day over here, but got some rain falling. But if you're anywhere else, I mean, if the sun is shining, enjoy the weather, So enjoy your day. You all take care, and I'll see you all in more videos. Take care.